Well, some exciting news during the week with the national finals headed to Western Australia, and one person who is very, very happy about that news is our correspondent out west, Greg Heyer. Welcome, Greg. Are you very excited about this?
I absolutely am. I got sent about 1 million text messages asking if that would provide enough motivation for me to get back and play this season. But I'm busy. I'm on this show every single week, and unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to sacrifice any time. But it's absolutely incredible. I mean, obviously, we know last year's fantastic championships. Both the Warwick Senators and the Rockingham Flames won the respective leagues. So I'm excited to see it back out here. The location is incredible. The home of the Joondalup Wolves. It's a renovated stadium. World class maybe it is a bit ambitious, but it's certainly a spectacular spot. And I'm excited to see the best talent across the country come down to my neck of the woods, and really excited.
It's going to be so good. When you said you were receiving a lot of messages, I thought people were hitting you up for tickets, which they will. Now, you mentioned lots of talent, which will be coming to WA for the national finals. There's lots of talent in NBL1 West Women's because one team remains undefeated.
Yeah, and that's the Coburn Cougars. Their train continues, and they had a pretty challenging task. There's always that sort of, I guess, story that when a coach is removed, the team gets up. And Perth Redbacks have had a unique sort of couple of weeks. They removed their coach, Michelle Fletcher, and brought in Jason Smith, who used to actually coach the Coburn Cougars a long time ago. And it was Lauren Scherf's second game. And so they prevailed against them on Friday night, and then got another win on Sunday against East Perth Eagles, who have played well this year, but certainly a formidable opponent. And it was back behind Sarah Mortensen and Jessie Edwards. They had incredible weekends. Obviously, Jessie Edwards was with the Perth Lynx last year, but she had 22 points and 19 rebounds on Sunday, and Sarah Mortensen had 22 and 11. So it comes down to this week. They're going to go against the Joondalup Wolves. We know they've already played against each other early in the season, which Coburn prevailed 84-79 then. So that's going to be the game of the week, no doubt about that. Obviously, that's going to be at the home of the Wolves at Joondalup, and talk about anticipation, because I know they'll obviously want to get one back on them.
It's going to be so good. Now, Mandurah went 2-zip at the weekend, and we had a massive milestone for one of the greats too.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting milestones every single week. We know we spoke about Kay Smilovic, who is not only a Mandurah Magic legend, a league legend, but Rachel Helene, the current captain, she accumulated 350 games over this weekend. An incredible effort. She's overcome some pretty significant injuries over time, a couple of ACLs, and that beaming smile. Fantastic to see her play 350 games for the Mandurah Magic, and they went 2-0. Sarah Toina was fantastic, and they brought in an inclusion of a new player from originally from South Australia, who's been playing for the Clemson Tigers over in America, Hannah Hank. She was solid, but they had it was a great weekend. They beat the Willerton Tigers, who are a tough opposition. Obviously, want to play top four. So a really solid weekend and a milestone game. So pleasing to see for Rachel and the Mandurah Magic.
Congratulations to Rachel. There's been some incredible milestones so far this season. We're just so lucky to have the calibre of player and person in our competition right around Australia. Emma Clark, we've spoken about her a lot. She's primed for another big WNBL season. Tell us about her weekend.
Yeah, Perry Lakes Hawks continue to winning, and it's because of Emma Clark. She had an incredible game this week, 33 points, 15 rebounds, but I think it was a shooting display, 7 from 8 from the three-point line. You can't go by that. She's obviously going to return back to the Sydney Flames. I know she had a bit of a disrupted start to the season, and this is what you like to see, I guess in the NBL and WNBL off-season is those players that are trying to stake a claim. I know over recent there was humongous performances from NBL1 players in the WNBL, but to see, I guess, her growing confidence, if there is a question mark around her game, is her shooting, and to shoot 7 from 8, absolutely incredible. So, good on Emma, and good on for the Perry Lakes Hawks.
Yeah, great to see Emma Clark working on her game in NBL1 West. Let's go across to the men's action now, because there was so much action literally across the weekend. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got traditional rivalries. You had the grand final rematch, and that's where I'll start with. The Rockingham Flames travelled down to Geraldton. It's an intimidating place to play. What a game. It came down to the absolute wire. Malik Munier hit 2 free throws at the end of the game to pretty much get them across the line, and there was a lot of it was toing and froing left, right, and centre. Unfortunately, there was players missing from both sides. Zach Katorna's over in Illawarra on a tryout. Ryan Godfrey with concussion symptoms, he was missing. Tom Jervis never travels on regional trips, so he was missing as well. But that was still plenty of talent. Devondre Walker was limited, had 20 points. They did a fantastic job. Teams are starting to have a unique approach. But Marshall Nelson missed 2 free throws at the end of the game to seal the deal. Off the rebound, Malik Munier gets the ball and ends up, sinking 2 and crushing the Flames' dream. So now they've lost 2 games. This hasn't been done for a very, very long time, and a bit of a redemption, you could say. Obviously, the Flames overcame the Bucks in last year's grand final. So, really, really positive game. And then we go to Stirling and Joondalup. They're rivalries. That's a bit of a rivalry in the city of Joondalup there. And again, unfortunately, players are missing. Jay Thwaites had a wedding, so Cody Ellis was there. Ethan Elliott cut his hand, so he's unavailable to play for time. But Joondalup got up big. That was a 30-point win, and they've been inconsistent for the last few rounds. So, really big win for them. Again, Quentin Dove was special for them. But Brian Michaels, that's a name I haven't been mentioning this whole year. He's been not playing to the level that he's accustomed to or would like to. He was solid, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists against his old club. So certainly, a good thing for him, I guess, to start getting a bit of a pep in his step.
Lots of news headlines in the men's conference, as you mentioned, uncharted territory for the Flames. But let's finish with the magic. Was there some magic at the weekend?
Unfortunately not, and ever so close. I mean, now they sit at 0-9, and they took the Willetton Tigers literally to the very end. It was an overtime game. Willetton Tigers ended up winning by 2 points. Mandurah came out hot. Like, they were up by 24 points at the start of the first quarter, at 1 point, sorry. But Willetton just willed their way back to it, and it was behind Darnell Hoskins. He scored 35 points, maybe inefficient from the 3-point line from 6 from 18, but he won't die wandering. He'll get it up, and Gorjak Gak was solid. Import Daquan Abram from Magic. He was spectacular. He had 38 points and 6 assists off shooting from 6 from 14, but geez, would have been nice for them to get, I guess, the monkey off the back and finally get that win. And it would have been an incredible sort of win for them against Willetton Tigers, who have championship credentials. So I guess another week for them. But good to see that, like, still a team that hasn't won a game all year is testing these high talented teams on the top of the ladder. And that's what you need across the league. So pleasing to see for that result as well.
Great to be brought up to speed with all that's happening in NBL1 West. Thanks for your time, Greg, and we'll see you again next week.
Thanks, mate.